What's up? What's going on, guys? Toasty here, Get Burnt, and today I'm doing another discussions video. You guys like these, so I thought I'd do this one. And after I did Dragon Ball Z Kai, a lot of you asked me to talk about Dragon Ball GT, and I actually wanted to talk about Dragon Ball GT since near the beginning of this little series, and I was thinking, I'll wait for a little bit to talk about it. And I did a Dragon Ball GT video last week about it, but I didn't really put it up because I didn't think it was that good. So I'm going to try and make this one better. Alright, I'm going to go right into it because I don't want to really ramble on for a long time. So, Dragon Ball GT. A lot of people in the community hate it. Some in the community like it. Some. Not a lot, some. And me, I don't hate it, okay? Just like Kai, I don't hate the series. I don't hate GT at all. And I don't really find it to be really bad at all. I mean, a lot of people are, like, always hate on GT. And I don't really see a reason why to hate on GT. I honestly don't see a reason why. Like, I mean, you could say that it was a bad art style, you could say that it wasn't as good as Z, but why are you comparing it to Z when Z is obviously the best of the series? Of course, of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT, Z is the best, but don't compare it to Dragon Ball Z, which was before it, just to, like, rate it fully. It's not that terrible to me because it's like forced on him. I mean, if you guys actually know stuff about Dragon Ball Z, which you probably do, but apparently Akira Toriyama, every single time he ended a saga, he wanted to end the series. Even after Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, he didn't want to do anything else. He didn't want to... Z was not even a thought in his mind at all. He didn't want to do Z or GT. None of it was looked forward for him. He didn't want to do Z or GT. And after the Saiyan Saga, I'm not really sure if he wanted to quit after that, but it kind of would have been a stupid ending. Frieza, he wanted to end the series. He wasn't allowed to because the fans were, like, pummeling them all, like, saying, hey, don't end the series, because it was originally supposed to be Goku dying on Namek with Frieza dying on Namek. Everyone gets back to Earth, everyone's happy, all that shit. That's what was supposed to end like. Like a heroic death for Goku and stuff. And then Cell Saga. It was supposed to end there too. It was supposed to end with Gohan being the final hero, being able to defeat Cell, the greatest threat yet, with Super Saiyan 2, which he had just achieved. And then Goku dying a heroic death again. That was how it was supposed to end. But he kept continuing it until the Buu Saga. And then the Buu Saga, a lot of people say the Buu Saga was bad or they didn't like it. That's the reason why. It was forced on Akira Toriyama and the people at Toei because the fans would not let the series go. The same thing happened at the end of Dragon Ball Z. After Dragon Ball Z had ended, after the final tournament saga, after Pan was born, after Goku was sort of, not really that old, but he wore the blue suit that he wore in GT, kind of. After that, one little saga, after the Buu Saga, that is when Z ended. And everyone still pummeled Akira Toriyama and Toei, whatever, with saying, hey, don't stop with the series now, make another Dragon Ball series. And then they're like, oh, we're like money, okay. And then Akira Toriyama was like, oh, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna make you guys fucking characters, but then I'm out. I'm not gonna fucking do this shit anymore. And it kind of makes sense, because if I was Akira, I would be so annoyed with, because if he wanted to quit since the ending of Dragon Ball, then I don't really see why he went through a lot of shit then. If he really didn't like doing it that much and they were forcing him to do it, that just sucks. And that's one of the reasons why GT was looks like it was so lazily put together. A lot of people complain that Goku was turned into a kid and he wasn't able to become even an adult until Super Saiyan 4. Well, for me, it seems that they were trying to bring back kind of the old, what's the word? The old feel of Dragon Ball for all the old school fans, not the people who just watch Z and never watched Dragon Ball. It kind of seems like it was trying to bring that kind of nostalgic stuff back. So you see Goku as a kid again, and he's traveling with Trunks and stuff and Pan. Like, I mean, the first, what's it called? The Shadow Dragon Saga? I'm not really sure, but someone's gonna correct me. But that saga, when they were searching for the Dragon Balls and they couldn't really find them, that was kind of a dumb saga. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like that saga that much. It was kind of boring. I'm not gonna say it was the best saga, because it wasn't. Super 17, I didn't hate that much. A lot of people said it didn't make sense, but what do you expect out of them? I mean, they've been doing it for so long, like, you'd expect them to have logical things come out, because a lot of people complain about GT villains coming out of nowhere or having made no sense. Like, look at Z's villains. I mean, like, I mean, I guess you could say that Cell was made by Dr. Gero, so it kind of makes sense. But fucking Boo, he's just fucking randomly out of nowhere. Babidi literally came out of nowhere and had Majin Buu with him. That's literally the whole backstory of the Boo, besides, like, the stuff that happened way back during, with the Kid Buu versus the old Kais. But that's something else. Alright, so, back to GT. I didn't hate GT as much as a lot of other people said they did, because I didn't feel that GT was that terrible. Yes, some of the characters did get weaker. Gohan, of course, he lost his way of being strong, but I mean, you really can't say that you wouldn't expect that, because there was a lot of peace for a long time until something actually happened again. The I think the gap between Kid Buu and the last saga of Dragon Ball Z, the tournament saga, I think that's what it's called, but I'm not really sure. I think that's like 10 years right there, and that's not even long. That's like when Goten was like 7 during Buu or something like that, or 10, and then he was like more than a teenager in the real ending of Z. And Gohan already had married Videl and had a child, and she was already on her way. She was like 4 or 5 or whatever. So it's been a long time since they've actually had any kind of problem. And Goku went off with Oob at the end of Z, which kind of seems like a cliffhanger, but not really to me. But I don't know, it just seems to me that a lot of people complain about GT just because it's not Z. I think that if GT had the name Dragon Ball Z, I don't think that people would have hated it that much. Not that much. I mean, a lot of people probably would have said, yeah, the last few sagas of Z were weak if it was part of Z. But a lot of people hate it just because it's not the same kind of thing that Z was. That's what people were really looking for. People were looking for the exact same thing that they saw in Dragon Ball Z. They were looking for the same Goku powering up and Vegeta being with him, and Gohan being with him, and like they were used to everyone being so strong and everything. But then in GT, then like a lot of people weren't as strong. He traveled with Pan, who Pan is Gohan's daughter. She's not that strong. She's not as strong as Kid Goku. Well, I'm not really sure about Kid Goku. She's probably stronger than Kid Goku and Kid Gohan were, but she's not that strong compared to everyone else. Trunks, I'm not really sure. President Trunks kind of is not really. Well, he kind of is a letdown because he's not really as badass as Future Trunks. Which I really didn't think that Kid Trunks would turn into the badass Trunks that we had seen in the Android saga. But, you know, Z compared to GT, of course, that would put GT in like a very bad state. Because Z, of course, is a lot better than GT. But I don't feel like GT, and when you look at it by itself, is not that bad of a series. Think about it, it's forced. Like, they're forced to do more of it. They're not like, oh man, let's make more Dragon Ball Z series because money. Like, they're forced to do it, and they kept doing it. And they finally got to end it, and people are still badgering them for a new series. And they're like, oh, just make it not like GT. And it makes me feel like I'm like, well, what? It just makes me see that sometimes DBZ fans are a little bit unforgiving. Because they should know that GT was just a fan service. They were just trying to humor their fans, give them something Dragon Ball to watch, and yeah, they were just trying to give them some Dragon Ball to watch, but then they still treat it like shit, and I feel that's stupid. Super Saiyan 4, I like Super Saiyan 4. I didn't hate the other Super Saiyan forms, but Super Saiyan 4 kind of like makes it like, he makes the person look more badass than Super Saiyan did. Because Super Saiyan basically just turned their hair blonde. You can't say it didn't. Either gave them sparks, made their hair blonde, or made their hair longer. That's what Super Saiyan 1 to 3 did. Super Saiyan 4 is when you turn into a Ozaru again. Well, I think, yeah, you gotta grow your tail back, like Goku did and Vegeta did. But you grow into a huge Ozaru, and then you become a smaller, you become your regular self, except you have, like, a lot more hair. So it makes you seem more like a brutish hero to me. Just to me, that's what it seems like. But a lot of people disagree. They say that Super Saiyan 1 to 3 is better. I don't know. I don't really think that either is worse or best, but I think that Super Saiyan 4 isn't bad. I think that it is actually pretty cool. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. I have a feeling that a lot of people are gonna comment on this video, like saying that GT sucked for these amount of reasons. And yes, the art style was bad, but I mean, I really didn't care that much for the art style. But I really didn't see that much of a problem with it either. Like, the only time that it really pointed out to me that the art style was really terrible was when Goku went back down to hell. When Goku went down to hell and fought Frieza and Cell, because what they did to Frieza and Cell looked kind of weird. Cell, especially to me, looked really weird. And like that's what made me like see, oh wow, this art style is really different and not as great. But I really didn't care. I mean, the really thing that I was looking for in GT, I was not looking for an intense storyline or a huge amount of stuff that's just like DBZ. Because DBZ was their prime. DBZ was where they shined and they made a masterpiece. That's where they shined. But I thought that GT would of course not be as good, because after you've seen Z, then when you see GT, you're not going to think that it's better, of course. You're not going to think that it's probably as well. This is my theory sometimes. When people see something that's really, really good, when they see something else that's of the same kind of thing, they can never think that it's as good as what they saw previously. I'm not saying that if you watch GT and then you saw Z, I'm not saying that you'd say that Z is worse than GT. But I'm saying that sometimes people let their nostalgic stuff get in front of them. Like, a lot of people didn't watch GT until a lot longer than, what am I trying to say? A lot longer away than they did Z. Personally, of course, I watched Dragon Ball Z, then Dragon Ball GT. I went in the original order. But a lot of people just watched Z when they didn't watch Dragon Ball original or Dragon Ball GT. And some of them did watch GT and were disappointed. I wasn't disappointed, as I said before. I didn't think that GT was that bad of a series. Yes, they could have done better, but I really wouldn't expect them to do something better when they're forced to do more. If they were doing it like the DBZ movie, they have been asked to do it a lot, but I don't think that it was really, I don't think it's really something that they're just doing it for fan service. I think they're doing it because they're actually getting into it. And Akira Toriyama comes back in the Z movie, but I'm not going to talk that much about the Z movie now. I'm going to talk about that in another discussions video, once maybe another trailer comes out. If not, then sooner, earlier than that. But, yeah, my basic final thoughts on GT. I know a lot of people hate it, and a lot of people are going to hate on this video just because I say that I don't hate GT. But honestly, I don't find a huge problem with it. Basically because it is forced on the people to make it. I don't find that the people who made it are really to blame that much, like, for their laziness. Because if I was doing it, I would be lazy too. But yeah, that is it for me, guys. Tell me your thoughts of GT, I guess, in the comment section. A lot of you probably will say that you hate it, and a lot of you will say you love it. But yeah, guys, that is it for me. I hope you all enjoyed this discussions video, and if you want to see some more discussions videos, then I have a YouTube playlist on my channel of them all, and there should be an annotation on the screen of the not the annotation. And there should be an annotation on the screen to my discussions playlist on the screen right now. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you guys really like this video, then leave a like, and if you guys really want to tell me your opinion on GT, then leave it in the comments. I would really like to hear what you guys think of it. And yep, that is it for me, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this battle. I'm so used to saying I'm so used to saying that I hope you enjoyed this battle, but I hope you guys enjoyed the discussion video. And yep, that's it for me, guys. Hope you all enjoyed this. And yep, peace out.